Have you ever spent time with someone who seems to be in your life, but only reaches out when they need something? Maybe at first, you thought they were a good friend, close companion, or someone who genuinely cared about you. But over time, you started to realize they only remember you when it benefits them. It hurts, doesn't it? You might have been there for them, supported them, and cared about their struggles. But when you needed them the most, where were they? Did you ever find yourself wondering, am I just an option to them, or do I truly matter? The Stoic philosophers taught us that genuine relationships are built on mutual respect, self-worth, and trust. But the reality is, many people in society only keep others around for their own advantage, without genuinely valuing them. So, how can you tell if someone truly appreciates you, or if they're just using you? In today's video, we'll break down 7 key attitudes or character traits that will help you recognize the truth about the people around you. Make sure to watch till the end, because understanding these signs will help you maintain your self-respect and free yourself from toxic relationships. Let's get started. Number 1. They don't respect your boundaries. Have you ever tried to say no, but the person on the other end still pushes you to agree? They don't respect your limits, your time, your energy, or your resources. No matter how much you try to protect your personal space, they try to cross those boundaries. When you set a limit and say, I can't help you right now, or I need some time for myself, they don't accept it. Instead, they mentally pressure you to give in. They might say things like, come on, just this once. You always help everyone else, why not me? If you really cared, you'd make time for me. They don't care about your limitations, your needs, or your boundaries. All they care about is fulfilling their own needs, even if it means ignoring your personal space. The hidden intention behind their actions. The sad truth is, some people don't respect boundaries because they know it makes you feel guilty. They know that by manipulating your emotions, they can get what they want. They try to make you feel like you're being selfish for protecting your time or energy. This isn't a sign of a healthy relationship. In a genuine, respectful relationship, both parties should honor each other's limits. But when someone doesn't respect your boundaries, it shows they are only thinking about themselves. A real-life example. Imagine you've had a long, tiring day, and you need some time to relax. A friend or acquaintance calls you for help, and you say, I'm really sorry, I need some time for myself today. But instead of understanding, they pressure you further. Oh, it's just one small thing. It won't take much of your time. I've always been there for you, now it's your turn. They don't care that you need rest or personal time. All they want is for you to drop everything for them, without considering your needs. The Stoic perspective. Stoicism teaches us the importance of setting clear boundaries in order to protect our well-being. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, set your own boundaries, or others will cross them. This means that if you don't define your limits, people will keep pushing you, and they'll expect you to give in every time. It's essential to have personal boundaries in place to preserve your mental, emotional, and physical health. Stoics don't say, yes, just to please others. They recognize their own worth and needs and ensure they maintain their personal space. You can help others, but always remember to protect your own boundaries and not overextend yourself. What should you do? Reflect for a moment. Are there people in your life who don't respect your limits? Do you often feel pressured to give more than you can handle? You deserve relationships where your boundaries are respected. Set clear limits and don't feel guilty for saying no. When you protect your own well-being, you'll be in a better position to help others in a healthy and sustainable way. In the next section, we'll discuss another significant sign that can help you identify if someone is only using you for their benefit. Number 2. They remember you only when they need something. Have you ever noticed that some people only contact you when they need something? They suddenly call or message you, acting very friendly, as if you are the only person who can help them. But think deeply, are they genuinely checking on you, or are they just trying to get a favor? If you don't reach out to them first, they completely forget about you. When you are useful to them, they remember you instantly. But as soon as their need is met, they disappear again, ignoring you until the next time they require something. In short, they don't truly care about you, they just want to use you. For example, imagine you have a friend who always borrows money from you. Whenever he faces financial trouble, he calls you, sounding desperate and grateful for your help. But when you try to reach out to him for advice, support, or even just a conversation, he barely responds, or worse, ignores you completely. It becomes clear that he values you only for what you can provide, not for who you are. The Stoic perspective. Stoicism teaches us that it is pointless to stress over things we cannot control. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "Do not worry about things beyond your control." You cannot change how these people behave, but you can decide whether or not to waste your time and energy on them. So, if someone remembers you only when they need something, don't waste your energy on them. Instead, invest your time in people who genuinely care about you, who value your presence in their life, not just your usefulness. Always remember, a relationship that exists only for personal gain is not a real relationship. Free yourself from such toxic connections and surround yourself with people who appreciate you for who you truly are. In the next section, we'll explore another clear sign that someone is using you, helping you recognize and avoid such people more easily. Number 3. They only take but never give. Have you ever met people who only know how to take but never give anything in return? You might give them your time, help them, offer advice, and solve their problems. You expect the relationship to be mutual. One day they will also stand by your side. But what happens in reality? They are happy when they receive your help. But when you need even a little support from them, suddenly they are busy, unavailable, or completely uninterested. These people have one common habit. They only want to take advantage of you but never give anything back. Not time, not support, not even sincerity. A real-life example. Imagine you have a friend who always asks for your help before exams. You take time out of your schedule to tutor them, share your notes, and answer all their questions. But when you struggle with a subject and ask for their help, they might say, "I'm too busy right now, let's talk later." Or even worse, "Why don't you try figuring it out yourself? It's not that hard." Does this sound like true friendship? A real friend never just takes. They reciprocate and build a relationship based on mutual support. The Stoic perspective. Stoicism teaches us that we should do good without expecting anything in return. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, "Do good, but do not expect a reward." While it's true that we shouldn't always expect something in return for kindness, if you notice someone constantly taking from you without ever giving back, you must recognize that this relationship is one-sided. And one-sided relationships only drain you. They never add value to your life. What should you do? Take a moment to reflect. Is there someone in your life who only takes from you but never gives back when you need them? Do you really want to keep such a relationship? Your time, your effort, and your sincerity are valuable. So, invest them only in people who genuinely appreciate you. In the next section, we will discuss another major sign of people who use others for their own benefit. Number 4. Your feelings don't matter. Have you ever maintained a relationship with someone who never values your emotions? They don't care about how you are feeling, what's going on in your life, or whether you're going through a difficult time. But when they need something from you, that's when they call you repeatedly, send messages, and desperately try to reach you. Your struggles, your emotional state, none of it matters to them. Their only concern is that you solve their problem. And what happens when you try to share your pain with them? Think about it. You might expect them to listen attentively, show some sympathy, or at least try to understand you. But the reality? They might hear you out, but they show little interest. Maybe they change the topic, dismiss your feelings, or even blame you for your situation. For example, imagine you're going through a tough time and decide to open up to them. But instead of offering support, they say things like, "Why are you overthinking so much? Your problems are nothing compared to mine." To people like this, your emotions are insignificant. They always find a way to make the conversation about themselves while completely ignoring your pain. The truth is, when you're struggling emotionally, true friends will understand and stand by your side. But those who only care about themselves will completely disregard your pain. If you are sincere in a relationship, you value the other person's emotions. But if you notice that someone only seeks you out when they need something, while consistently ignoring your feelings, then you must recognize that this relationship is one-sided. The Stoic perspective. Stoicism teaches us that genuine relationships are built on mutual understanding and support. The Stoic philosopher Seneca said, "A true friend is not only there in times of joy but also in times of sorrow." Surround yourself with people who stand by you not just in happy moments but also during difficult times. It's better to distance yourself from those who only approach you for their own benefit. What should you do? Take a moment to reflect. Is there someone in your life who only comes to you when they need something, but never values your emotions? Do you really want to keep such a relationship? Your feelings are important. If someone repeatedly disregards them, perhaps it's time to make a decision. In the next section, we'll discuss another major sign that someone is using you, helping you identify and avoid such people more easily. Number 5. Your time has no value. Have you ever felt that some people don't value your time at all? They only reach out to you when they need something. For them, your time is not important. Only their needs matter. But what happens when you need them? They reply late, ignore your calls, or make excuses about being busy. Notice this pattern. When they need your help, they will contact you immediately. They will call multiple times, reply quickly, and do everything to get your attention. But when you need their support, they suddenly disappear. If you call them once, they won't pick up. If you call again, they might say, "I'll talk to you later, I'm a bit busy." They take hours or even days to reply to your messages, or sometimes they don't respond at all. What's their real intention? They expect you to always be available for them, but they will never give you the same importance in return. A real-life example. Imagine you have a friend who calls you whenever they need help. If you don't pick up immediately, they get upset or keep calling repeatedly. But when you call them, they either ignore it, come up with excuses, or simply don't respond at all. Now think, is your time so worthless that it should only be spent on them? Do you really want a relationship where your time is not respected? The Stoic perspective. Stoicism teaches us that our time is one of our most valuable assets. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "Spend your time and energy only on things that truly matter." Your time is just as valuable as theirs. If someone doesn't respect your time, there is no reason to waste it on them. What should you do? Take a moment to reflect. Is there someone in your life who only uses you when it's convenient for them but never respects your time? Your time has value. Spend it on those who truly appreciate and respect you. In the next section, we will discuss another major sign that will help you recognize how some people maintain relationships purely for their own benefit. Number 6. They try to undermine you. Have you ever noticed that some people never acknowledge your success? Whenever you do something good, instead of supporting you, they try to belittle you. When you accomplish something after hard work, they'll say, "It's no big deal." If you share news about your success, they'll say, "It's just something everyone does, what's the big deal?" Their goal? To undermine your confidence, so that you always feel small and depend on them. People who truly care about you will encourage you to grow. But those who secretly view you as a competitor don't want you to progress. They know that if you start believing in yourself, you'll become independent. And when you become independent, their influence over you will fade. So, they try to keep you small by undermining you, making you feel insecure. Let's say you finish a big project or achieve something impressive. You share this news with someone you consider a friend, expecting them to be happy for you. But instead of celebrating your achievement, they react by saying, "It's nothing special, anyone can do that." Let's see how long you can keep this up. Does this sound like true friendship? A true friend would never try to belittle your accomplishments. They would encourage you and celebrate your successes. The Stoic perspective. Stoicism teaches us that our worth is not determined by others' opinions, but by our actions. The Stoic philosopher Seneca said, "The people you value reflect your own character." If you keep valuing people who constantly try to undermine you, you will start believing their negative words. From a Stoic perspective, your confidence should come from within, not from external validation. Those who truly respect you will celebrate your achievements and encourage you to continue growing. But those who try to make you feel small with their words should not be given any importance. They are insecure themselves and your growth threatens them. What should you do? Take a moment to reflect. Is there someone in your life who constantly tries to undermine you? Someone who downplays your every success? Your achievements and your time are valuable. Spend them with people who truly respect you and encourage you to move forward. In the next section, we will discuss another important sign that will help you recognize how some people maintain relationships solely for their own benefit. Number 7. They make you feel guilty. Have you ever been made to feel guilty for not meeting someone's expectations? If you ever fail to fulfill their demands, they will quickly blame you. They might say things like, "I've done so much for you, and this is how you repay me? You always let me down, don't you care about me?" But in reality, they haven't done anything significant for you. They make it seem like you owe them something, even when they haven't given you much in return. The hidden intention behind their actions. This kind of behavior is often a form of manipulation. They want to make you feel guilty so you'll keep doing things for them, even when it's beyond your capacity. By making you feel like you're ungrateful or selfish, they try to control you emotionally. It's important to recognize this behavior because it isn't healthy. True relationships should be based on mutual respect and understanding, not guilt and manipulation. A real-life example. Imagine you're unable to meet a friend's request because you're dealing with your own issues. Despite this, they keep bringing up all the things they've done for you, making you feel like you owe them something. They might say, "Remember when I helped you last year? Why can't you return the favor now?" But in truth, you haven't asked for anything from them, and their help was never truly selfless. This makes you feel trapped, as if you have to meet their demands because they've given you something in return. But what they're really doing is using guilt as a tool to manipulate you into fulfilling their wishes. The Stoic perspective. Stoicism teaches us the importance of maintaining inner peace and not allowing external forces, such as guilt, to control our emotions. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, "If your mind is calm, no one can hurt you." If you're made to feel guilty for not meeting someone's expectations, ask yourself, is this really fair? Am I being treated justly? Or is someone trying to control me with guilt? A Stoic mindset reminds us that we are in control of our emotions and should not let others manipulate us into feeling responsible for their expectations. Instead, evaluate the situation logically and ask if their demands are reasonable. What should you do? Take a moment to reflect. Have you ever felt manipulated by someone's guilt trips? Do you often feel like you have to constantly fulfill others' expectations to avoid feeling guilty? Remember, you don't owe anyone your peace of mind. Don't let others control you with guilt. Stand firm in your beliefs and trust yourself to make decisions that are in your best interest. Have you seen these signs in your life? Is there someone around you who is just using you? Have you ever felt that someone is only there when they need something from you? Stoicism teaches us to prioritize logic over emotions. Instead of getting caught up in frustration, sadness, or resentment, we should analyze situations through reason. True friends are there not just in happiness, but in sorrow as well. They give without expecting anything in return. But those who are driven only by self-interest, those who take but never give, are the ones we should distance ourselves from. Have you had any experiences where you realized someone was just using you? What are your thoughts on this? Feel free to share your experiences in the comments.